You've been trying to find meaning in your relationships, achievements, even your pain, searching for something that feels real and lasting. But what if the deepest connection you're craving can't be earned, only remembered? We live in a world where connection feels like something we have to work for. Every interaction becomes a subtle performance. Am I interesting enough? Caring enough? Present enough? This exhausting dance leaves us feeling more alone than when we started. Because here's what we haven't been told. There are two completely different ways we connect: revelation, which is that direct, wordless experience of love that arrives like grace, and miracles, which are the practical ways we extend that love to each other. While we can't force those profound moments of feeling truly known, we can create the conditions where genuine connection becomes possible through small acts of recognition and equality. Think about the last time you felt truly seen, not admired, not validated, not even understood in the usual sense, but seen. That moment when someone's presence met yours without agenda, without trying to fix or impress or relate. It probably lasted seconds, but something in you recognized it immediately. That's what we're really searching for in all our striving. Here's the pattern we've fallen into. You meet someone new, and immediately your mind starts calculating. What should I say? How should I sit? What parts of myself are safe to show? You're having coffee with a colleague who mentions their mother is sick, and suddenly you're scrambling. Should I share my own loss? Offer advice? Just listen. The pressure to respond correctly creates a wall right where connection wants to happen. This performance of connection is exhausting because it's built on a lie that you need to earn your place in someone's awareness, that your worth depends on getting the interaction right. Watch yourself the next time you're in conversation. Notice how much energy goes into managing the impression you're making. Feel how your body tightens when you're trying to land a point or worried you've said too much. It's like the difference between trying to force a profound conversation and letting one unfold naturally. You can't manufacture those moments where words become unnecessary and understanding just flows, but you can create the conditions where they're more likely to happen by dropping the performance and showing up as you actually are. The trying itself becomes the barrier. Let me tell you about a moment that changed how I understand this. You're having coffee with a friend who's going through a divorce, and they're explaining how everything went wrong. Normally, you'd feel pressure to say the right thing, offer advice, or share your own story to show you understand. But this time, something shifts. You stop trying to fix or relate and just listen. Without any effort, a deeper quiet settles between you. Your friend stops mid-sentence and says, "I feel heard." Neither of you did anything special, yet something profound just happened. What occurred in that moment? You stopped performing empathy and simply became present. You released the need to be helpful or wise or relatable. In that release, space opened up, not empty space, but pregnant space where real meeting becomes possible. Your friend felt it immediately, not because of what you did, but because of what you stopped doing. This is the paradox. The moments of deepest connection happen when we stop trying to create them. They arise in the gaps between our strategies, in the pauses where we forget to perform. And once you've tasted this, every forced interaction feels like a costume that doesn't quite fit. Here's where everything starts to shift. The pressure to perform, prove, or perfect yourself in relationships dissolves when you realize that true intimacy isn't something you achieve, it's something you allow. Think about that for a moment. All that exhausting effort to be seen, to be worthy, to be enough. What if it's the very thing preventing what you're seeking? When you stop trying to be worthy of connection and start recognizing the inherent worth in everyone, including yourself, something remarkable happens. The friend going through the divorce doesn't need your wisdom, they need your presence. Your colleague mentioning their sick mother doesn't need your similar story, they need to feel that their experience matters. And you don't need to earn these moments. You just need to show up without armor. Relationships become spaces of mutual discovery rather than mutual evaluation. Instead of two people trying to impress each other, you have two people genuinely curious about what might unfold between them. The question shifts from, am I enough? To, what wants to happen here? And in that shift, the whole dance changes. Now here's the practical magic. While we can't force revelation, those moments of direct, wordless knowing, we can practice the small gestures that create openings for connection. These aren't grand spiritual moments. They're tiny shifts in how we meet each other. It starts with equality, not the idea of equality, but the lived recognition that the person in front of you is navigating the same fundamental challenges you are. They're trying to be seen, trying to matter, trying to find something real. When you meet them from this place of shared humanity rather than from comparison or evaluation, the whole field between you changes. Watch what happens when you drop the subtle superiority of being the helper, the wise one, the together one. Notice how connection deepens when you stop trying to be the most interesting person in the room and become interested instead. These small acts, a pause before responding, a question asked from genuine curiosity rather than politeness, the admission that you don't have answers, these create the conditions where something larger can move through. The quiet confidence that comes from knowing connection is your natural state changes everything. You stop chasing it. Stop performing for it. Stop exhausting yourself trying to maintain it. Like that moment with your friend in the coffee shop. You realize that the deepest connections happen not through effort but through release. This isn't about becoming passive or withdrawn. It's about recognizing that you've been trying to earn something that was yours all along. The child in you knew this, before you learned to perform, before you decided you had to be special to be loved. You knew how to simply be with another person. That knowing is still there, waiting beneath all your strategies. Here's what I want you to take from this. The next time you feel that familiar ache of disconnection, that sense of being unseen even in a room full of people, remember, it's not because you're failing at connection. It's because you're trying too hard to create something that only arises in the absence of trying. Let yourself drop the performance, even for a moment. Feel what happens when you stop being interesting and become present instead. Notice how others respond when you meet them without agenda. Because here's the deepest truth. Those moments of revelation, of being truly met, they're not rewards for getting connection right. They're what's always available when we stop trying to manufacture intimacy and allow it to unfold. In that allowing, we discover that the connection we've been seeking was never outside us, never dependent on others' responses, never something we could lose. It's the ground of our being, temporarily obscured by all our efforting, waiting to be remembered in each genuine moment of meeting. If you want to keep practicing with us, you can like the video and subscribe. Let's take a moment now to let this settle with a guided meditation. Let yourself settle into this moment. No need to adjust or prepare, just arrive as you are. Feel your body in the chair, the ground beneath you. Let your breath find its own rhythm. No need to control it. Notice any tension you're holding around being present, around doing this right. See if you can soften there, just a little. In this space, there's nothing to perform, no one to impress, no connection to earn. Just this moment of being. Bring to mind someone you'll encounter today. Notice any subtle preparation happening, how you might interact, what you might say. Feel that familiar tightening. Now let all of that go. See their face without agenda. Feel what it's like to meet them without trying to be anything. Rest here. In this space before the trying begins, connection is already whole. Notice the quiet confidence of simply being. Not better than, not less than. Just here. Just human. Let that knowing settle into your body. This is what you bring to every meeting. Not your performance, but your presence. When you're ready, let your eyes gently open. Carry this softness with you. The next person you meet will feel it. Thank you for spending this time in practice. A free digital ACIM resource is linked in the description if you'd like it. And if you wish, you're welcome to comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here, for letting yourself feel what connection without performance might be like. As you move through your day, be gentle with yourself when you notice the old patterns arising. Each moment of recognition is a doorway back to what's real. Until next time, trust what happens when you stop trying so hard.